Hello and welcome to the weekly Ergo AMA. I am QX, and with me today we have Cannon. How are you doing, Cannon?
I am doing well. A little under the weather with some COVID, but I'm doing well.
Oh, you have COVID. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I should have worn a mask.
Yeah. All good.
All good. We
Hopefully
also
this
have.
time won't be that bad.
Is this your second time, Cannon?
Yeah, I got it the first week it came to the U.S.
Oh, wow. Early adopter, as usual,
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes. Very proactive.
We also have Imaginary Dan to my right. He is finishing up some things, and hopefully he'll be on soon. But let's get started. Cannon, why don't you start off first? Tell us what's happening in the world of market making and this new project that you just posted in Dev Update, those kind of things. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so market making, there was the official vote from the EF to, SIG's put through a vote on Padilla. We pushed over a request to the EF to officially petition the EF to manage the market making activities for them on their behalf. That request was, I guess, approved, if you want to call it that, by vote of the EF. And so there is a group of 5 Sigmanauts right now that are interacting with the market maker. We have begun discussions with them, and they've started to formulate strategies on the 3 goals we had, which was increase market access, volumes, and move towards tier 1 listing, which you need volume for, and help spreads as well. So again, we've never and never will dictate like a price target, really even a volume target. That can get a little dodgy as well. But anyway, they have a lot of good ideas. For them, this is what they do all day. They have 300 plus clients. So, it's pulling some levers and whatnot on their end. So anyway, we're going through that. Hopefully the next couple of weeks, we can have something implemented. I was shooting for before April 1, but we'll see how that goes.
What do you expect the engagement to be, requirements for the 5 members in the group for those levers you're pulling and tweaking?
Yeah, it's a great question. So initially, I don't think any of us have ever been a market maker before. So I think it's going to be a decent curve on just figuring out what's prudent, what's not. We were talking through KuCoin yesterday after the news that the U.S. government is suing KuCoin. And there's a decent outflow, not a huge outflow, but, some FUD around people having delays in withdrawals, whatnot. I think we saw yesterday, maybe 2 million ERG move from one wallet to another in KuCoin. So, I don't think anything looks unhealthy there. But that was, the questions we had even yesterday to the market maker is, hey, you're plugged in obviously to KuCoin. What's going on? And they said right now we're monitoring it. Nothing looks, crazy, doesn't look like FTX. So for what that's worth to everybody. But yeah, the 5 on the group is me, QX, Glasgow, Major Pop, and then Mark the Shark. So definitely feel free to ask any of us questions. We will try to answer whenever we can. If there's significant changes in strategy from what we've laid out to the community and to the Sigmanauts, obviously we're going to come back and do a vote through Padilla. But at this point, there's no, it's so early into it. There's nothing that's, a big curveball or deviation at this point.
Very cool. Very cool. What else? Anything else, Kevin, that you're working on? What about this project that I hear about?
Yeah,
you're bringing in tennis betting? It's okay.
Yeah, no.
Hit it out. This is what we're here for, Kevin.
I'm not here to shill. I'm not here to shill. No, it's all right. Honestly.
There's no token yet, so chill away.
Yeah, no, and there's no token that's going to benefit me anyway. So, yeah, basically, I've for a long time looked at sports betting more for fun as a kid. I do not have a sports book account or anything like that. I do not actively bet. I rarely even fill out a bracket for March Madness here in the U.S. in basketball. Um, but I do like, the random fantasy, like, who's going to do something this week. I think it's fun. So anyway, the concept that I'm trying to structure is, or that I'm shooting for is, if you took a large bracket, whether it be, an F1 race or say tennis with 128 draw at French Open or Wimbledon, you could pick the first, third, or fourth seed or the field. So I don't want it to be like some of the other projects you see out there, or like a traditional sports book where there's the over, the under, everyone gets confused and they're taking 10 to 20% off the top and you don't even realize it just based on the way the odds are laid out there. It looks even Steven, but it's not. Every sports book is taken at least 10%. So at least when you run the numbers at a minimum, plus fees usually on the backside. So trying to levelize that, trying to make it more fun. And there will even be, as you called it one time, participation trophies for second and third place in every contest. So to, again, incentivize people to actually take the wild ass second or third place bet, so that it's not all just one sided in an event. So anyway, yeah, building a team, hired a couple of devs to hired a dev to get the smart contracts going. It's all going to be on Git. It's all going to be open. There is not going to. So anyway, I'm hoping to by the end of May have this at least in a very rough form online. At that point, with the MVP, would like to get community feedback, see how that goes, and then if it's a failure, that's fine. The contracts are going to be there in the open, and hopefully they're beneficial to the next project. And if it's something that people want to do, we'll figure out a way to move forward and make it better. So, trying to take more of a tiered, managed tiered approach, more like Ducky did with, hey, here's the MVP. Let's test it for a while and see what breaks and what doesn't, what we have to adjust, and then is there an appetite to make this a cool project? And if there is, great. Let's all do that. As a community, there's funds flowing back to a community through this project. So that's the concept. I'm a big proponent of when you launch a company or you raise money, I think you should have an MVP at a minimum. It's not always the case, but that's me. That's what I like. So that you have something and people see that there's actual tangible product there. So
is a goal, Cannon, is a goal to eventually have using Oracle 2.0 to bring on data on chain, decentralized?
Most definitely. Initially, it's going to have to be more of a guard structure, like a known guard structure, like I said, like similar to Rosen in a couple of the questions, just so that you can't have, a big bet get skewed by, collusion, basically, amongst the guards or oracles. And so, yeah, I mean, it's that would be the goal. I put it out there when Kushti was doing his dev DAO and talking about the Oracle 2.0. I said, hey, could you do sports betting? Or, could you do sports feeds? He was like, yeah, why not? Is anyone going to use it? I said, well, okay, that answers my question. I'll use it. If that's something we can do. And a lot of people focus on sports. I'm not necessarily looking at sports only. I'm looking at doing crypto. I think that there's an opportunity as you get a ticket back, like in a raffle. Say you said, hey, what of these 4 or 5 versus the or let's take stocks, right? You take Google, Amazon, and Tesla, and then the S&P 500, which one's going to do better over the next year? people can keep putting in there. You get tickets back. Those tickets actually have tangible value at some point, right? So you can create almost a synthetic off of that, a synthetic S&P 500. I mean, in a way, if you really wanted to, and if there's enough volume there. Again, it's Ergo. Total market cap, I think, is still sub 200 currently. So, I mean, like, how big could the synthetic get? But this is, I'm not smart enough to do some of the stuff that Bruno and Kushti do on the things that are not backed by, they're backed by other things. I'm looking at more of a synthetic. So anyway, enough on that. So
no, super cool. Looking forward to that.
But I'm looking for people. So I mean, if you're remotely interested, Doom Troll is going to be helping on the Discord. Just monitoring Discord and helping me set that up, and he's adept at that, and he's going to help with some NFT and artwork. I mean, like, I've had numerous people that I've seen chat only and not involved in projects that I'm aware of reach out to me. So I mean, definitely, I need help because I have full-time business I operate as well. So I need some people to hand things to and take ownership of.
I bet. All right, what else do we have? We have, let's jump into Sigcan update or Sigmanauts update. How about we do that?
Sure.
We have about 1, 2, 3. There are about 3 or 4 Sigcans that we brought in over the last week. And we have 1 or 2, I guess Mark the Shark probably got promoted. We have Rustin that was promoted to Sigmanaut, as well as Mark the Shark to Sigmanaut as well. Rustin's very active in community kind of maintenance and building and frameworks. So he's doing a great job of right now looking at trying to develop some sort of larger picture of what the skill set is in the candidates that we've brought in over the last year, as well as we have a sheet going of current Sigmanaut and Sigcan skill sets. And the idea there, the bigger picture there, is that we take those skill sets and we try to offer some sort of assistance to projects, whether it be tweet writing or graphic design or article compositions, things like that. The idea is that once we have a framework or a base of what we're good at, then we can start reaching out to projects and doing it. I know Tulo is already helping Duck Pools a bit by formulating some tweets for them. Cannon just posted today about Blitz TCG. As
Nick
well
over at Blitz. Yeah.
So SIGs are starting to dive into really kind of trying to leverage the skills that we have to help out ecosystem projects and get a voice on the Sigmanauts Twitter as well as the Ergo platform Twitter. So that's that for the SIGs. We have now about as of last week about $89,000 in tokens and coin in our treasury. That's about 30,000 ERG, 4 million THCs, and 160,000 SPF. So we're looking at ways to utilize that and leverage that and spend it if need be. There's a proposal that just got passed for Paideia that was brought forth by Wombo, and it was to throw 500 ERG into the Paideia treasury so that anybody that's a Sigmanaut could just make a vote and an auto payment out of that to whatever it is, so that we can kind of grease those wheels and get them flowing. Because right now, all the money is in the multi-sig wallet, which takes a little bit to get out of. So, the true futureness will be most of that will exist in a treasury inside the Paideia that anybody can put a vote on and put up. Which reminds me, that means SIGs really need to kind of pay attention to these votes when they come up. Just make sure you know where it's going and what it's being spent on. Let's see what else. We've got the SIG mining pool. We found 2 blocks last night. We went on a little dry spell for about 400% effort. And it was a 470% effort or something like that. So I said, screw it. And I rented about 15 gigahash, and lo and behold, we found a block 3 hours later and also a block this morning. So the rented hash has run out. We're back down to about 15 gigahash, 14 gigahash pool. And hopefully we find a block again. It's just, essentially it was just a check to make sure nothing was messed up and it worked. So we know nothing's messed up now. We talked about skill sheet. MEC-C is ongoing. I'm in the chat with the integrators. We have tried to glean some marketing materials from MEXC, and we were semi-successful. My question to them was, hey, what sets you apart from all the other central exchanges that we can, promote on Twitter and say, here's what MEXC offers, trade with them and that kind of thing in the new listing that we're having. And I didn't get the best answers, but we got some stuff, so we're working on that. And once we get a solid date on perhaps when the listing is going to happen, as well as perhaps we won't get that date until right before. But once I start seeing in the integration chat where they're starting to make some strides and they're getting close, then I think we'll probably start putting that out of the Ergo platform, Twitter, as well as the Sigmanauts, about promoting that. Cannon, you're having market makers putting some funds directly into MEXC. Is that part of the plan?
Yes. So there was a minimum that MXC wanted. I think it was 30 and 30 on each side, or 30,000 equivalent on each side. And yeah, we will be pulling over likely a little bit more than that because we anticipate the volumes being a little bit higher there initially. And hopefully that's something we can stoke. And as that MXC community of traders sees that there's a new token or a new coin, in our case, hopefully, volumes can maintain and not just be like a few week pop, over there. So, the goal is to increase accessibility. So volume is going to be, in our discussion with Kraken, that's what they say. You need good volumes. They don't define what that is, at all. But that is the refrain over and over and over again is tier one exchanges need volume, period. Right? They need to make fees.
That's a direct quote from
that's their business.
Kraken almost. The Kraken rep essentially said that, yeah. He's like, I'm sure you're an interesting project, but we really want to.
We need good volume.
But yeah.
It's really that simple, and I've said to people, look at some of the projects that we're adjacent to and somewhat tied to, like Flux, for instance. They do massive volume, in my mind, like 5, 6, 8 million a day, and they're on Binance using their level 2 token or layer 2 token on Binance. It's not a layer 1 coin, and they can't get on anything else right now. They're trying, but it's tough out there for proof of work when you don't have volume, or even if you have volume. They want it centralized. I don't know how to say it otherwise. Not being a doubting Thomas, just being a realist.
No, central exchanges want to make money. Yeah, simple as that. Yep. We also, building off that somewhat, there was a reminder in the Rosenbridge chat this week for everybody to practice caution and be careful and watch for red flags. There was a user that lost about, I think, $50K US, combined Rosen and other tokens. They had been pinged by a DM in chat off of Rosen, claiming that they were Rosen support, and they got the user to send their funds to a temporary wallet that they had control of. And once that's done, the user no longer has control of their funds. Luckily and amazingly, to fuck off on the scammer, the community, who is at HQ Flying Pig, just started bombing the wallet with dust. So luckily the scammer was unable to have the programming chops to build a transaction and just grab the right boxes. So Nautilus, of course, wouldn't work, and neither would Terminus with, what do you do, 150,000 boxes, I think, Cannon, in there by the end, Flying Pig was?
Yeah, I think it started with HQ sort of jumping on. Yep. At the end, it sort of looked like a melee in a wrestling match, just who could dust the quickest.
So these guys don't give a shit. The DMs that were shown, they offered to say, hey, look, give the funds, give us the keys to an intermediate escrow party, and we'll split 40-60, you get 60, we get 40 back. And they were like, fuck you, I don't need the money, and let's just let it burn. They don't give a shit. So they wrote me, and I did a little trick I did in the old days to get a stolen iPad back. I pretended I couldn't take screenshots, and I had to post it on a web server. So I sent them a link. They clicked on it, and they were on a VPN, of course, that I could see from their IP address. So then I made up some story that, my site blocks VPNs, blah, blah, blah. And they were dumb enough to click it again. And they're in Nigeria. So, there's nothing you can do. There's no recourse at all with that kind of thing. So I tried to scare the guy a little bit. It seemed like he got a little scared, but then he blocked me. So whatever. It is what it is. But that shows you guys you need to be diligent. You need to pay attention to the red flags. I've been guilty of myself. I've jumped into I think it was a Spectrum Discord once, and immediately was DM'd by some sort of support ticket bot that wanted me to click on something to verify and link my wallet to my Discord. And as I was typing the password into the Nautilus pop-up, I was like, wait, what am I fucking doing? Stop, just stop. So you really, your self-custody here, guys. There's no FDIC to bail you out or anything like that. It's rare that we have the crass moments that they drain the Ergo wallet and give all the funds back when there's a vulnerability. So that's extremely, extremely rare. And when you got keys in your self-custody, you got to be careful. So one thing the SIGs are going to try to do is by the end of the week, we have a draft done. I'm working on a framework that we can essentially take to projects and say, here's a recommended framework for your security or your support on your website. And it may involve things such as a bot that bans any buddy in chat that has the word support or the project name and their name. Also a bot that watches all the text. And if it looks like somebody needs help or says the word help or says the word error or issue, then it automatically pops a message that reminds people not to talk in DMs, to talk in the support channel. We won't even link the channel, talk in the support channel and talk out in the open, those kind of things. So we're going to framework to deliver to projects that we can help out on from there. To just to try to, if we can circumvent some of them, then we should try, essentially. So that was a sad story, but what can you do? Tough lesson to learn, that's for sure.
No, I mean it's a community, right? We got to help each other out. So that would be my big ask to anybody watching and listening after the fact is you see someone asking for help, at least tell them, hey, stay in this chat. Don't go somewhere else. Don't go into a support ticket. Because that I think is what happened is they were able to create a thread that looked like a support ticket inside Discord. And a lot of Discord servers use those little ticket bots, and so it looks legit. Seems like the guy's helpful, and then you're screwed. So most definitely, just all of us need to help each other out, honestly. Which is a little funny because it's supposed to be, no trust, trustless, but we need to trust that we're going to help each other out. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. There was one other thing. What was it? Right. Blitz CCG is doing a series of Get to Know the Developer or something, was it? Series of 1 to 9. He's putting out 9 or 10 videos coming up.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who haven't followed, it's actually really cool. You'll see it in the first video if you just find Blitz TCG on online anywhere. But so Mick had this crazy idea coming up with a trading card game. He's going to use Ergo, Cardano, and Nervos, I think, are the three you can get packs on. So it's somewhat interchain operable. The cards are fungible tokens, not NFTs, which is a nuance. But he's funding the project himself thus far, and he has a spreadsheet he puts out there like every couple months. It's like 80-90K at this point that he's funded. He has multiple devs working with him, a litany of artists, just all kinds of cool stuff. And they have a working product. I've play tested it. It's pretty awesome. And what's the coolest thing about it, or the unique thing about it, is on top of him funding it himself, he's actually selling like super rare old Pokemon and other
Yeah.
cards that he has from that he collected throughout his life. He's selling those on eBay and other avenues, and that's what he's using to fund this project with. So it's actually trading cards funding a trading card project. It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty cool story, pretty cool arc or narrative there. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about seeing this thing come live. It looks like maybe in 2, 3 weeks he's going to have ability for people to buy packs. They're going to be $5 a piece. You don't need any packs to actually play the game. I mean, yeah, head explosion there, right? That's pretty
Yeah.
damn dope. And he's going to make it to where if you wanted to make your own game off of his, you could build your own board, drop it in there, and build your own decks and drop it in there. I mean, it's a pretty sweet project. I think that's going to have some neat legs, similar to Cyber. I mean, just a cool project that's sticky that can get non, you know, crypto people involved. I think it's a pretty cool project. And again, I like someone building the concept themselves and then selling, or raising or whatever. I think it's amazing to see what all he's done because it's taken him a long time to get to where he's at. So.
It has, and you mentioned that. So you mentioned Cyberverse as well, and I think unfortunately, when we do these, well, not dev updates necessarily, but these AMAs, those kind of things aren't necessarily brought up as much as they should be. I don't know if it's because some of us aren't necessarily gamers or whatnot, but I mean these are absolutely amazing products. I have quite a few. I have an apartment. I have several, maybe 10 cyber citizens as well, and I dabble in it once in a while when I feel like just jumping into a game and walking around and doing some mini games and that kind of thing. But these things are what are going to bring people here, that kind of thing. So even if and I think Cyberverse, I don't know if they're still doing their free-to-play initiative, but a couple weeks ago, I know they were.
I think they just announced it was free. I mean, to get in and do stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then they had that really cool Cardano cross-chain thing where you bought on Cardano and then there was stuff waiting for you over on Ergo kind of thing. These guys are doing an amazing job, and it's partially my fault as too. I always forget, since I'm not a super active gamer, to mention these kind of things, but you guys should check them out. Check out Blitz TCG, Cyberverse, any gaming thing that's up and running here is going to be cool.
Well, and I've seen it mentioned a couple of times and then looked it up. I like to look up stuff on the back end. I've seen Medici, who is it that did the Ergata Club? I mean, he's mentioned a couple of times, like if Cyberverse was on any like top 50 chain, he's going to be worth like $50-80 million, like easily. Like, I mean, he's like, it's a game, like a legitimate game. It's not crypto. It's a game people can play. Like, I mean, and do something with. So, I mean, just when you get people like that,
50 or 80 million. Hey guys.
I don't know, man. Hey, what's going on?
Sorry about that. Well, QX double booked me without knowing it. It's his fault. Just whatever bad thoughts you're thinking about it, just put QX's face to it. That's gonna be. That's how it is.
Are we gonna see your face, Dan? Are you gonna turn on your camera?
Oh, actually, my connection where I am is pretty bad, so that's why I have the camera off. But you've seen me enough. Stop making it weird.
We were just talking about Cyberverse and gaming as we were concluding kind of our update, Dan. What about you? Anything coming in the pipe for you?
Yeah. So quite a few things, actually. Well, first of all, I've been slowly, very, very, very slowly talking to another exchange. This one is actually a pretty major one, and it does have licensing in the U.S. Absolutely does. Working with these guys, trying to get them to get us on there. It's a really long and tedious process, especially with this bull market around the corner. Everybody's getting a lot more, rock starry about it. It's like, well, we are your overlords, and you will do our bidding as we say. But yeah, it's moving along. Just keep your expectations super low, as we say with exchanges. But this one is actually, I think there's a really good chance that it'll work out. It's just a matter of fees, and it's a matter of just time, a lot of time. Everything's got super long lag, especially gotten like that the past month or so. But well, aside, getting on a bit of a positive note. Well, I mean, that is a positive note, but a bit more of a positive note. I'm actually right now organizing an Ergo meetup in Dubai for during Token 2049 week. Just and trying to figure out several different venues. Have some really good options. Just going to try to nail things down right now, and also make sure that it is, of course, frugal. We don't want to be putting out $30,000 for a meetup, because you can easily do that in Dubai. But I don't think we should do that. So yeah, organizing that. Alex is going to be there, so that's going to be a good one to attend. So yeah, if anybody is in Dubai during a Token 2049 week, or you already live there, or you're going to be there, yeah, just keep your ears peeled and eyes to the ground, and I will let you know when I have nailed down a venue. It's going to be really fun. We're trying to make it the same kind of vibe as the one in Austin a couple of years ago. I think that one was. I think people really like that one. So cool. Yeah, just making that happen. And like I said, it's going to be really exciting because Alex is going to be there. I believe also MHS Sam is going to be there. So we're going to get to do some really fun hanging out and talking Ergo. And well, I don't know if we'll do karaoke this time, but there might be shisha. Might be we might decentralize some shisha over there. I don't know, something like that. It's going to be fun. So that's that's kind of an exciting thing to look forward to next month. Aside from that, of course, our work with the Rosen team continues, where I believe they are, and the reason why I bring up Rosen, of course, is because I made it a priority for Zengate to be the Rosen launch accelerator, which is which basically led us to work with them on the or getting them into Catalyst and getting them funding from Catalyst. So that's that was part of the initiative, and I'm really happy that really kind of impacted the entire development process. So right now, going back to that, right now they are, I believe, on milestone 2 of Fund 11 and going to EVM. So a lot of stuff is already being rolled out right now. Plus, they're also working with the Bitcoin ecosystem, and so also building a bridge to Bitcoin. So that's that's really exciting. A lot of development a lot of really good development going on over there, and I think we're going to have a lot of cool stuff happening in the next couple of months that'll give us a lot more, I guess, flexibility in working with other ecosystems. Actually, I also spoke with the Nervos ecosystem, who's also very excited about the Rosen Bridge. And so we will be speaking further about potentially working with them. We also spoke with them regarding the DID solution that they have. I think DI was a DI.D. and it's something I think that was discussed in the Ergo ecosystem a little while ago. Yeah, I've been speaking to them, and we are potentially going to be we are going to be integrating that into Palmyra as an option for DIDs, and also we're just going to explore how we can further kind of expand our cooperation. I think it's a really good ecosystem to work with. I think there are bros and sisses in this whole EUTXO crazy world. So I think there's a lot of synergies there. That's about it from my end.
Awesome.
Shall we dive into some questions? You got the questions up, Dan, or is Andy going to pick them?
Andy is our overlord. He only picks the winners. the wieners. All right. Let's
one of them real.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you're going to say the same thing as I was going to say. Just grab one of these questions.
Yeah, one of them real quick. We addressed it earlier, but is KuCoin going to explode? Hopefully not. That would be a hole in the entire crypto industry.
But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised, Cannon.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a shock.
Right now, at least if you look at their Ergo funds, there was quite a bit of withdrawals yesterday, but not near. I think it was 4.5 million Erg are sitting on KuCoin right now, something like that. So maybe like 10% flowed out yesterday, but it wasn't like a mass exodus. So anyway, no one knows ever on an answer like that, but it doesn't. At least the first day or two, they're holding in there. So,
KuCoin, KuCoin had quite a bit of Erg. So, hopefully it won't explode. But look, whatever happens, nature will heal. I don't think.
Exactly.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You can't you can't, Lee Iacocca Chrysler this thing. Just whatever happens, happens. I think our ecosystem is strong enough. I think we got a lot of stuff happening that whatever happens with KuCoin, I think is in the long run, it's really not going to have that big of an impact on the ecosystem. We'll find another way.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we got?
We got a minor question. Let's see. Where'd that go? Somebody asked.
Yeah.
Oh, there aren't there?
Can we join the SIGs mining pool? Yes. Put a post in general, and we'll get you hooked up. So
yeah, it's also, if you look on the left of Discord, in the Ergo Discord, it's under mining. I think it's the second or third one down. It says Sig mining.
It's not visible unless you have certain.
Oh, it's hidden. You have to take on that role.
Yeah.
Yep.
So go to mining in Discord or on Telegram, and we'll get you in for sure.
Yep. And the instructions are pinned right in both channels, in Telegram and Discord. Once you get into hop in, we now have TLS on both the under 10 gigahash pool and the above 10 gigahash pool. So connect however you want to. And then Wombo says, any takeaways so far on the difficulty, ease of running a mining pool? Wombo, you fucked my life. Yeah, it's pretty difficult, especially when you're sitting there and you have 11 miners or 12 miners right now putting 15 gigahash into the pool, and you're at 470% effort, and they're like, something broken on your end, QX? Yeah. And you're like, I swear the logs look fine, there's no errors, the database is being written to, everything's operating as it should. So then we have moments where we're just like, fuck it, let's run some hash and double the hash and see if we get a block. And sure enough, we did. So just a good indicator that it works. But the fun thing is about that is that sparked a discussion by Mark the Shark and some other people like, hey, why don't we why don't we have people, opt into splitting a little off of their rewards, and then at the end of the year, whatever's left, we just bomb that into rented hash, and we just spike the pool for a week or 2 weeks or however much it is, kind of thing. So all these really good ideas are floating around the Sig mining chat. I didn't expect that this kind of community nature would form from that. That was my hope, but not this soon. So yeah, it's difficult as far as making sure the hardware is up and running correctly and that kind of thing. But once you get people like Cannon, who's an experienced miner, you get Mark the Shark, who's an experienced miner. Plus, he has Python and UI experience. He built the professional looking dashboard that he's still working on for version 2. Once you get guys like that in there, and you get the DAO set up, hopefully, Louis Vatra, Padilla. Once the DAO set up, we can start doing that kind of thing. Like the pool rewards will then, the 1% pool rewards that are captured will then go right into the Treasury DAO wallet that we can then vote on to do things about. So yeah, it's much more. I even got a warning from Cheese one night when we were working on something. He's like, QX, you should be careful about how fast you open this thing up to the public, just because it's, it could become your full-time job. And yeah, so we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to, just not fly under the radar, but people that want to come in with the understanding that we're all learning together and that we all own the pool, essentially, even though I own the hardware technically that it's running on for now. We all make decisions. We all own the pool, and we're all experiencing this and learning this together. So as long as everybody enters the pool with that in mind, I think we'll be okay.
And only in this particular place can you say, I got a warning from Cheese, and nobody bats an eye.
That's true. Cheese enthusiast, the famed creator of the smart contracts for SigmaFi as well as Lithos core dev there. So big things coming out of there. It's going to be fun. And I'm glad he's in our chat and listening to us and lending us a hand, because that means hopefully we'll be on the front lines of whatever happens with Lithos, and we'll be prepared. So
yeah,
good stuff.
Now, don't you think some of these guys are actually like some weird like AI or government experiments, and they're like what was that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal where he's source code, where he's actually turns out that he's just like a command prompt on a computer because he thinks he's in this like capsule and all these TVs, but it turns out to be just a command prompt. Yeah.
So these guys, Cheese, MHS Sam, NNBR, all those guys are just government planted.
MHS Sam, I have met in real life, and he's even more intense in real life than he is online. Like Mo doesn't mess around. You talk to him like, holy crap, man, this dude is much smarter than me. But yeah, some people, I only see them online. They're so anon. I'm like, guys, are you sure you're real? Okay. So like, I'll show you this image. Can you pick out of this image all the motorcycles? Which ones are doors?
Luckily, I think I've seen. Well, you're right. It could be, if it's online, it could be fake as well. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, we got another question from Ursa Minor, though. Hot dog machine in Vegas. So that's something that we were really talking about. Since the SIGs voted to set up a booth, sharing with sharing with Zengate and Blitz, perhaps, and maybe Lithos, maybe Rosen. The idea was to try to find something that was, like something like the NFT Las Vegas last year. Hosky had these adorable little Hosky teddy bears that they would just pass around. So everybody would be walking around with these teddy bears. And the idea was to try to find something in Ergo that could have a similar effect. And with Austin's new project for Greasy Sex coming up, the Mission 3, I believe it is, the glizzy hot dog, The idea was to have a hot dog machine and serve hot dogs. But unfortunately, the Teamsters will get your ass when you're there. They'll charge like 5-10 grand. It's something ridiculous, Dan, isn't it? If you want to serve food.
Yeah, so I don't know if Caesar's because Rare is going to be at Caesar's. It's not going to be at the Las Vegas Convention Center. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's Teamsters there too that want money for doing
Nothing.
everyday stuff, that riding around on motorized carts. Yeah, but I mean, we can see. What I was actually my first image. When you started talking about hot dogs, I thought you were just going to get like one of them hot dog cannons and shoot people with hot dogs over there.
That'd be
Ergo says hello. Yeah, Ergo. Let's get a bunch of Ergo branded hot dogs and just fire it off at people into the crowd. Like T-shirt cannon. We get a hot dog cannon.
Yeah,
I like that idea. The other option though was Austin has access to these manufacturers and supply chains. So the other option was to get these hot dog shaped lollipops. So you could hand them out and people would be licking the hot dog shaped lollipop during the convention that was branded with Ergo on it and Greasy Sex and Glizzy kind of thing. That's one thing. The idea is to get this kind of just catchiness, so people are walking around the conference holding something of yours, and people are like, "Oh, what booth did you get that at?" And they're like, "Oh, the Ergo booth," and then people come over and they get hooked once they learn about how amazing Ergo is. Yes, Jemai says, as long as the hot dog lollipop tastes like hot dog. I think that's a requirement.
Yeah, hot dog flavored lollipops. I don't know if we're going to be that popular if you do that, QX.
get some crowd, make it a Chicago dog. Go for it.
Hot dog water, says Ursa Minor. Perfect. Yeah, so that's the idea. In worst case scenario, I think what we can get our hands on is those little gummy hot dogs you get at the Asian store kind of thing. Hopefully they make them a little bigger, and you can hand those out. Maybe put a sticker flag on top of it about Ergo. So that's like the backup solution. But the hope is that we have something that somebody can walk around with, and people are like, I want one of those. Let me go to that booth.
Right. Yeah. Hot dog flavored lollipops from the Asian store. Yeah.
We could have tea flavored lollipops, Dan, that were hot dog shaped.
Well, I don't know. Tea flavored, I think, would be a little bit more popular than hot dog flavored lollipops. Some things just don't do, QX. Okay. Some things you just don't meddle with.
Well, that's the general idea once we get to Vegas. We want something instead of just having people randomly come to us, we want something out there in the crowd that people are like, let's go check that out.
Yeah. I'd say we should get a shawarma cannon.
Or a T-shirt cannon even. That'd be fun. Just shoot it randomly out over the audience.
Okay. Listen, I'll meet you in the middle. Shawarma T-shirts. T-shirts made out of shawarma.
Made of what?
Shawarma.
The good
stuff. You're gonna have to enlighten me. What's that?
It's on the split.
QX. Okay, just leave. Just go.
Sometimes I go deep. Sometimes I go deep and wide on things, Dan, but then other times I just miss them throughout my life.
Okay. I'm sorry, everybody. QX has been exiled from the AMA because doesn't know what shawarma is. No, it's a delicious Turkish / Middle Eastern dish that is those spinning things of that. Thank you, Google.
Usually pork, beef, chicken. Sometimes it's a combo. Sometimes it just depends on how they line it up.
We ate that in Vegas. It was delicious. We stood in line for like an hour for it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that's called shawarma.
Yeah. Thank you. Now I know the name. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
some things just, I'm old, guys. I'm 42 years old. Some things just come in my head and then they just get lost somewhere.
Don't play that game with me. I'm 46. Okay, so sorry, that doesn't fly on this circuit. All right.
We got any more questions?
Let's get to some more questions. Yeah. We got to get some more questions to get off of your schwarmignorance.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we got, guys? What do we got?
Uh,
Wendy Moon.
I thought there was an
as well.
interesting question for you, Dan.
Oh yeah.
When you guys get to the Thai gold, I think it was Thailand, right, for the gold.
Yep, that's right.
Are you going to utilize gold stable coins as a trading buffer, or is it going to be entirely separate? Like, is there going to be any kind of like way to collar value or lock in value on those? Using Gluon or Dexy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we definitely would be utilizing something like that. The thing is that if you have, well, I mean, I'm not talking about any particular stablecoin, but say if you're using an asset-backed stablecoin, so if you're tokenizing gold, right, and you're using gold as asset, you have to really, you have to create something that's specific to Thai gold, because Thai gold is not LBMA gold. So LBMA is the trading standard. It's 99.9 or something like that percent pure. That the stuff that you just trade when you see, when you go to the commodities market and that says gold. So that gold is actually LBMA standard, an acronym which I can't remember exactly how. Well, anyway, LBMA. Trust me on this. That's what it's called. And that's the trading standard. Thai gold purity is 96.5% pure. So it's actually a very specialized alloy that they produce in Thailand. And they're actually famous for that. So this is still it's a pretty damn pure piece of gold, but it's got other things mixed into it, like silver and I believe a little bit of copper, but it's mostly like silver. It's a special blend, right? So this particular gold alloy has its own purities, has its own purity and purities that have to be basically accommodated by this coin. So yes, I would like to use those, but there's probably going to have to be work done there to accommodate that particular purity standard and that particular alloy standard, because aside from it being gold, there's also other precious elements or precious metals in there that need to be accommodated as well for trading.
So quick and dirty is the gold that everyone's using is the bullion that you can trade, or that's on every commodity exchange. Thai gold is basically a subset or a separate. I mean, it would be a separate pair on an exchange. So
that's it exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Learned something today. That's awesome.
Well, I learned what that big meat pile was. So we both
we
meat
looks
face
like
over
everybody's
here.
learning. Yeah, looks like everybody's learning today. Canada's learning about gold, and QX is learning about meat rolling things, slabs of meat.
Yeah, that's too.
All right. Let's maybe go for something else here.
Let's see. Wendy said really quickly, what benefit would there be to spiking the pool hash rate? So it could be a couple different scenarios there. Not just that. The idea is that the funds would be put back into the DAO at least at a larger percentage to do what you want with. So imagine in the future, if Ergo price raises above the other proof of work mining chains that are there, perhaps we can catch it to where we can still rent for cheaper than with more value that we have now when converting it to Litecoin or Bitcoin to pay for a rented hash kind of thing. I guess the idea is hopefully we catch it kind of on that spike price differential. But otherwise, I mean, you're right. It probably scales the same as the price of Ergo goes up. The cost of renting the mining rig is going to go up as well, because it's opportunity cost that the miner renting the rig is going to lose if they're not mining ergs at that point. But yeah, that's why we throw around ideas. Some of them are good. Some of them need more thought.
My simple answer is it's degen. It's degen.
Yes,
why would you spike the pool? Because you hope that your luck is better than everybody else that's mining, and that the pool magically gets 5 blocks instead of 1 for what you rented. I mean, it's just for degen purposes only.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd pay it as a dividend and be a sane individual.
Gambling.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have.
What do you guys think? One more?
Yeah, let's do one more, Dan. There's a good one
All
from
right.
Wombo that might take it's for all of us. It was let's do the Wombo one that says, "What keeps you guys motivated to continue to be taking on a lot, and working hard? Possibly follow up while you are still in Ergo, more broad in crypto." Dan, why don't we start with you?
All right. Let's see.
Why are you still here,
motiv-
Dan? What motivates you besides seeing my face at AMAs every week or every other week?
I just don't have anywhere to go. I, yeah, I made the outside demons angry, so I can't go outside anymore. And the toilet in my house tells me that I have to, do this or else he's going to eat me at night. Wait a second. Forget about all that. Yeah, that definitely was not crazy. No, seriously, what keeps me motivated? Well, uh, it's really about building. It's really about kind of. I'm really I'm really kind of all in on what we're doing. I really am. Spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. And for me, it's kind of like, okay, what is tomorrow going to bring? How we're going to. It's an exciting thing for me to see advancement every single day. What is happening today? What are we building today? How are we advancing today? What is coming up in a month and a year? Where are we heading? What are we doing to get there? That really excites me. That really kind of motivates me to see what's happening because the ecosystem is growing, and it's really exciting to first of all see this growth, and second of all have the ability to facilitate more growth. For somebody, say in my position, having the ability to bring to bring something that is tangible for the community into the community and to help it kind of sprout more and more and more. It's just really exciting for me. It's really, I'm really thankful for that opportunity. So that is what motivates me. I mean, if you're talking about specifically about my business, it's kind of the same thing. We're utilizing Ergo Tech by a large part. We're utilizing other UTXO technology in there. And it's really exciting to be able to really not be one of those solution looking for a problem cases. It's the other way around. We have these problems that we're solving, and then we're saying, okay, you know what? This is a perfect use case for this tech. This is a perfect use case for this tech. And you don't have to kind of think about, oh, what if they don't like Ergo, but they want to have EVM? It's like they don't care. It's all about the tech. It's all about the solution that you bring in the medium that we're working. So that's very exciting for me. That's very motivational for me to be able to do that, to build something like that. So I would say
Nice.
that is a very kind of I guess as clear as it can be on that. Now, why Ergo? I guess what is the second part is why Ergo? It just makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. The solutions, like people who are saying, well, why don't you just build this in EVM? How am I going to build this in EVM? I mean, the protocol utilizes UTXO boxes and state changes, and plus, how am I going to mint a million NFTs on EVM and then be able to kind of sell that to a business that is making, I don't know, like $100,000 a year because they're in a developing economy, and over there that's actually pretty okay income. But how am I gonna sell a technology that's gonna cost them, a couple of $1 million to utilize to make $100,000? How am I gonna do that? I'm not gonna do that. It's stupid. So I mean, it makes sense to me to build on Ergo because the business case, because strictly, business speaking, it just makes sense. Technology makes sense. And then, there's that the whole ethos, kind of like the what we call Japanese the Funki of the ecosystem. That also really checks off all the boxes for me because I'm not a maxi by any means. In fact, maxis irritate me. But I am a first principles maxi. Chain maxis irritate me. First principle maxis are my people. As long as I'm utilizing technology that is built on first principles that I adhere to and that make me sleep good at night, then I will use that technology. And Ergo just checks it all off for me. So that's I guess that's it in a nutshell.
Nice, Dan. Good words. Cannon, what about you?
What keeps me going?
Why are you still here? What keeps you in Ergo?
Yeah, it's
Why
a good
not
question.
something else?
Well, I got other things going on too. This is something that consumes time. It's a way to invest. Honestly, for me, it's a hedge. It's something to do with some time that I think I'm going to get benefit back out of, right? So, I've been joking with people putting that, be water meme out there, but it's, you get in what you get out, right? Like you put in, you're going to get something back out. And, I think in crypto, there's a lot of one-way street mentality, just want to take. And sometimes that happens for people and, good for them. That really hasn't happened for me. You got to put in to get out. And why here? There's a couple other projects I follow, honestly. None that I'm as involved in as this one. I don't have any other projects that are this easy to get involved in. Honestly, this open, whether it be a guy like Dan or you, QX, that are, pretty vocal and have, some chops behind it, or, hell, Alex is on AMAs all the time. Joe was out here a lot. There's guys that are accessible in this project that aren't in virtually any other, in my opinion. And that's encouraging. And so, again, I have a stupid idea and I'm willing to get the contracts built to see if it works, right? And if not, maybe somebody else can build on them. A couple of guys have already sent me, hey, here's some old Ergo hack projects that aren't exactly what you're talking about, but similar. Maybe you guys can use those contracts. And it's amazing that that stuff's out there. I think if you're on a different chain, I don't think you get that support. I don't know. I don't think you get that community involvement. It's always, again, I feel like a one-way street on a lot of projects. It's either what the centralized group on that chain is trying to do, or what are the, token coin holders trying to get out of it. So anyway, I think this one has a good balance.
Thanks. I agree. I agree with both of you. I guess my answer to that question is, I know of no other chain that the core dev and co-founder of the entire chain can leave the foundation that was set up in the beginning, since the beginning, and it's a positive thing. And nobody bats an eye, essentially. It's like, holy shit, now Christy has more time to devote into coding or setting up a developer DAO. In no other chain do I feel like I can come in and not have to answer to a central entity and go by whatever they have in their head as how something should go. Instead, I can come in and we can get a community consensus and we can get like-minded individuals to make a push for something that we want to do. And nobody's going to stop you. Nobody at all. You may get some shit for something, but that's the most that'll happen. And you see in other chains, you don't see that as much in other chains, as far as I have observed. Yeah, and I'd say also the big thing that keeps me here in Ergo is the individuals. You have people that are doing things behind the scenes that you don't even notice. Let's take Wombo 22 for example. Wombo has been around since before I was here. I'm not sure how long, but was here way back then. and he exists on both Telegram and Discord. And I'm not going to tell you his Telegram handle. That's a different one than Wombo, actually. If you pay attention, you might figure it out. But he's like one of those people that is behind the scenes looking for zero recognition, looking for zero anything like that. And he's just cranking stuff out. He's making connections. He's encouraging people to post to dev chats. He's he's joined the One Take series that I post on the Sigmanauts account. He's done 3 or 4 tutorials for that with voiceovers there. It's just people like that that collectively come together with the one goal in mind, is to make Ergo what they feel it should be. And there's nothing else like it out there that I can find. So that's why I'm here in Ergo. Yeah, I guess in short. What else did I want to say? I think that's it, guys. We're like 13 minutes into last week's time block. So Dan probably has another AMA to go to. We lost Dan already. He's gone. Or else he's on mute.
No, I'm not on mute. I am on telepath. Okay. So listen. You should know this by now. I was saying I came from an AMA with Hosky. Okay. So
nice.
Yeah.
Hosky volunteered to do a dev update at some point with me. So I was thinking I would buy a hot dog costume. And while Hosky's in the dog costume, I will wear the hot dog glizzy costume, and we'll do a little dev update there. We'll talk about marketing and the success that Hosky's had and the tools that he uses.
I think you should adapt the hot dog costume into your regular fashion repertoire. Okay,
that's a great idea.
In fact, you should do all the AMAs with the hot dog costume.
Perfect. As long as you dress up as a bun, Dan, I'm game.
As a what? As a button?
The bun.
The bun. Yeah, you know what? You just have this this inability to make everything into really weird shit, don't you?
We should end this before it ends itself, guys.
It already ended itself. First, it's your lack of shawarma knowledge, and now it's all it's all littered with hot dog references and just weird innuendos. All right, you know what, guys? I'm gonna I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to take Fido around the back and clip him because he's got rabies. All right. I think that's about. I think we've done it for this week. We'll gone and done it for this week. So yeah. Well, you know what? How about you guys sign off, because I came in late. I don't get to sign off. You sign off.
All right, sounds good. I'll start and you take it in the end, Ken. And thanks so much for joining, everybody. Hope to see you around chats, and keep up the amazing things that make Ergo amazing, which is all of you. You're muted, Cannon. You're going to do a silent exit.
Yeah, good one. Perfect. Rugged myself. Just everyone have a great week. Keep doing what you're doing, and definitely for your outro in your head here. Just imagine the wagon from or the van from Dumb and Dumber sliding across there. The shaggin' wagon for Hosky there for the next dev update. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. For the next AMA, what we should do is try to silent movie AMA, do it in all black and white with subtitles, and just have the ragtime piano in the back.
Dan, we're still live. Dan.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, everybody.
Hey, see ya.
See you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a good week, everybody. Bye-bye.